औज़ुबिल्लाहिमिनश्शैतानिर्रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम-ओ-अलैकुम, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। हमने CSS 2023 के स्क्रीनिंग टेस्ट के लिए जनरल साइंस की रिवीजन स्टार्ट की हुई है, जिसमें वीडियो के फर्स्ट पार्ट में मैंने काफ़ी सारे स्टार्टिंग के चैप्टर्स के जो MCQs हैं वो आपके साथ शेयर किए थे। ये वीडियो का सेकंड और लास्ट पार्ट है जिसमें तमाम MCQs कवर्ड होंगे और इसके अलावा आपको जनरल साइंस के MCQs तैयार करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। इसमें तमाम कवर्ड हैं जो CSS आउटलाइन के अकॉर्डिंग है। तो अगर आपने वीडियो का फर्स्ट पार्ट नहीं देखा है तो इसी वीडियो के ऊपर आपको 3 डॉट्स नज़र आ रहे होंगे, उस पर आप क्लिक करेंगे तो आपके पास वीडियो का फर्स्ट पार्ट शो होगा, आप उसको देख सकते हैं। उसके बाद आप सेकंड पार्ट पे मूव कर सकते हैं। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं आज के इस लेक्चर को। फर्स्ट आज का जो अभी चैप्टर हम स्टार्ट करने वाले हैं दैट इज़ नेचुरल हैज़र्ड्स एंड डिज़ास्टर्स MCQs। First MCQs is atmospheric pressure in the center of a tropical cyclone is very low because of rising warm air. A tropical storm becomes a hurricane and forms an eye when wind speed exceeds dash miles per hour, 74 miles. Which of the following factors are used to rate the intensity of a hurricane? Barometric pressure, wind speed, storm surge, all of these. Most hurricanes in the northern hemisphere follow a track that moves northwest then northeast. In most hurricanes, extensive death and destruction are caused mainly by both A and B, storm surge and inland flooding. Which ocean does not commonly experience tropical cyclones? South Atlantic. Common ocean waves are primarily caused by wind energy transferred to water. Heat transfer mechanisms associated with a burning log include all of these: conduction, convection, and radiation. Which chemical reaction best represents the fire equation? C6H12O6 plus 6O2 into 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus released heat. The process whereby wood degrades thermally, resulting in production of flammable hydrocarbons, is referred to as pyrolysis. The essential ingredients in any fire include A, B, and C: fuel source, ignition, heat, and oxygen. The manner and rate at which fire spreads is a function of all of these: topography, wind direction and velocity, and fuel source. Then the chief role of drought in wildfires is drying out the fuel source. Which of the following might help prevent home fires? Both B and C: building with stone or some other inflammable material, and clearing foliage away from the home. An unusually hot and voracious wildfire that often accompanied by fire tornadoes. Fire requires dash to burn, all of these: oxygen, fuel, and heat. The largest wave during a tsunami event is unpredictable. It could be any of them, the first, third, and the fifth. The destructive powers of tsunami result mainly from their momentum and long wavelength. In the open ocean, tsunami can travel dash miles per hour with wave height up to feet. Tsunami can travel 500 or 100 miles. Which event produces the biggest tsunami? Earthquake. Powerful tsunami are most frequently produced by earthquakes. Over 90% of volcanic activity is associated with plate tectonic boundaries. lithosphere generally create dash, while those under oceanic lithosphere commonly create dash. Hotspot under the continental lithosphere generally create calderas, while those under oceanic lithosphere commonly create shield volcanoes. The production of magma is favored by an increase in pressure and heat and decrease in water content. Weather and climate are driven by what sources of energy? Solar radiation. The difference between weather and climate is weather is a day-to-day phenomenon, climate is a long-term average. Warm air in the tropics rises because it is less dense. Cold air sinks because it is more dense. Air masses always move horizontally from high pressure to low pressure areas. Air around low pressure zones, cyclones, in the northern hemisphere spins counterclockwise. Air around high pressure zones, anticyclones, in the northern hemisphere spins clockwise. A rapidly moving cold front that encounters warm, moist air may produce a narrow band of intense thunderstorm. A slowly moving warm front that encounters cooler air may produce a wide band of moderate rainfall without thunderstorms. The Fujita scale quantifies tornadoes based on the extent of damages caused by winds. A drought is defined as a lack of water. Which of the following does not promote mass movement? Forest fires. A flash flood is a flood that occurs suddenly and unexpectedly and for a short duration. The level of a flood is measured by a river gauging station. Which of the following is an environmental consequence of floods? Dispersal of weed species, erosion of soil, release of pollutants into waterways, all of these. Which of the following can reduce the risk of flooding? All of these. Zoning and building regulations for new developments, then dams, retention basins and levees, flood awareness and education programs. Volcanoes are generally found where dash pull apart or are coming together, tectonic plates. Which ridge has examples of volcanoes caused by divergent tectonic plates pulling apart? Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Which one has examples of volcanoes caused by convergent tectonic plate coming together? Pacific Ring of Fire. Volcanoes can also be caused by mantle plumes. Volcanoes are usually located in all of these: divergent plate boundaries, convergent plate boundaries, and hotspots. A place where two plates, usually an oceanic plate and a continental plate, collides is called subduction zone. Volcanic erupted material when inside the hill or earth or mountain, it is called dash, and after it coming out, it is called dash. Okay. Or earth or mountain, it is called magma, and after it coming out, it is called lava. The volcanoes formed by the alternating layers of lava and rock fragments are called composite volcanoes. The intensity of earthquakes is measured on Mercalli scale. Which of the following is a mass movement? All of these: landslide, avalanche, and mudslide. Now we will start chemistry MCQs. The first one is the neutrons. Which of the following pairs is incorrect? Heterogeneous mixture of two or more things. Atomic weight of uranium. (92U38 is 238. Which of the following is a chemical change? Burning of candle. Which of the following does not belong to the halogen family? Morphine. Which among the following is not a noble gas? Rayon. Which of the following is the hardest substance? Diamond. The chemical name of laughing gas is nitrous oxide. The nucleus of a hydrogen atom consists of all of these: 1 proton plus 1 neutron, 1 proton plus 2 neutrons, 1 proton only, all of these. The bond formed by transfer of electrons from one atom to another is ionic. Mass of an electron is 9.11 into 10 raised to power minus 31 kg. The nuclei of most of the atoms contain nearly 99.9% of the mass of the atoms. The atomic number of an atom is determined by number of proton. The electron was discovered by J.J. Thomson. Isotopes of an element have the same number of protons. The term nucleon is used to refer to either a neutron or a proton. Atoms are composed of electrons and nuclei. Who suggested that the most of the mass of atom is located in nucleus? Rutherford. An atom of an element with mass number 23 and atomic number 11 will have 11 protons, 12 neutrons, and 11 electrons. Dalton's atomic theory states that the smallest particle which can exist independently is an atom. The neutral atom's two isotopes differ in the number of neutrons. Chadwick got the Nobel Prize for the discovery of neutrons. Mass number is equal to the number of protons plus number of neutrons. The other name of H11 is protium. The fixed circular paths around the nucleus are called orbits. Protons are positively charged particles with significant mass. If Z represents the atomic number and A represents mass number, then the number of neutrons in an atom can be computed as A minus Z. If Z represents the atomic number and A represents mass number, then the number of electrons in an atom can be computed as Z. Proton was discovered by Goldstein. The number of electrons in the outermost shell in the atom of an inert element is 8. Inert gases do not react with any other element because their outermost electron level is filled with 8 electrons. Two or more atoms combine to form a molecule. How many electrons are required in the outermost shell of an element for it to be stable? 8. The tendency of atoms to attain maximum of 8 electrons in the valence shell is known as octet rule. The driving force for making a bond is to attain electronic configuration of noble gases. Science MCQs. Which of the following vitamins is associated with coagulation of blood? Vitamin K. In animals, the principal role of vitamin E is antioxidant. Which of the following is not a vitamin? Trypsin. The richest source of vitamin A is liver. Which of the following vitamins is produced in the sun's rays? Vitamin D. A balanced diet contains all food nutrients necessary for growth and maintenance. Which of the following does not belong to the vitamin B complex group? Ascorbic acid. Which of the following vitamins cannot be stored in the liver? Vitamin C. Which vitamin is known as ascorbic acid? C. The number of amino acids that constitute all proteins is about 20. Which of the following vitamins is water soluble? B. Which of the following is used as a food preservative? All of these: sodium benzoate, acetic acid and citric acid. Albumin is egg protein. Yeast is used in making bread because it produces CO2. Enzymes are formed of proteins. Man cannot survive without taking minimum amount of carbohydrates. Pasteurized milk is specially treated milk in order to kill bacteria. Deficiency of vitamin C causes scurvy. Each gram of fat metabolized by the body releases about dash calories, 9 calories. Which of these carbohydrates provide fiber or roughage in humans? Cellulose. All of these carbohydrates come from plants except lactose. Complex carbohydrates. All of these is the correct answer. Complex carbohydrates include glycogen, cellulose and starch, consist of many glucose molecules bound together in long chains, and complex carbohydrates are polysaccharides. The brain relies almost entirely on glucose for energy production. For long-term storage, glucose is converted into fat, while for short-term storage, glucose is converted into glycogen. All other monosaccharides absorbed into the blood are converted into glucose in the liver. Skeletal muscle cells derive most of their energy from glucose. Which of these carbohydrates is a disaccharide composed of two glucose molecules? Maltose. Fish, safflower oil, sunflower oil and corn oil are sources of polyunsaturated fat. All of these foods contain cholesterol except coconut oil. Good cholesterol is also called HDL. There are 20 amino acids in proteins and 9 are considered to be essential amino acids. All of these are examples of proteins in the body except lecithin. The two vitamins necessary for nucleic acid synthesis are folate and vitamin B12. Currency of the cell is ATP. About 99% of the body's energy storage is in the form of lipids. The gain or loss of heat as infrared energy between two objects that are not in physical contact with each other is called radiation. Osteomalacia can occur as a result of a vitamin D deficiency. Glycogen is mainly stored in liver and muscles. Anemia is caused in man due to the deficiency of folic acid. The rich source of iron is green vegetables. What are the common antioxidant substances? All of these. What are the common everyday foods that are rich in antioxidants? All of these. Ancient methods of food preservation includes drying, smoking, and fermenting. A biological method of food preservation is fermentation. Food additives may be used to enhance appearance. Substances used to preserve foods by lowering the pH are vinegar and citric acid. An essential amino acid cannot be synthesized by the body to meet the body's needs. The order of amino acids in a specific protein determines its function in the body. Which of the following is definitely not a protein? Glycogen. Which one of the following food items is the richest in protein? Fish. Now it's time to revise cell biology MCQs. So let's get started. The first one is, what is a eukaryotic cell? Cell with a nucleus. What organelle stores waste in cells? Vacuole. In addition to producers and consumers, healthy communities must have decomposers, bacteria and fungi, which recycle materials. Each organism has its own niche or function in a community and is part of the food chain or web of life. In a typical ecological pyramid, cows are good examples of primary consumers because they are herbivores. Bacteria play a vital role in Earth's ecosystem by decomposing dead organisms. Which of the following is an asexual form of reproduction in bacteria? Binary fission. It has a living, flexible and thin structure. It possesses fine pores, making it semi-permeable. Cell membrane. It has a double-walled structure. Its inner wall is produced into folds known as cristae. It is generally sausage-shaped. Mitochondria. It is a green-colored plastid. It contains a pigment called chlorophyll, chloroplast. It has a non-living, rigid structure. It is freely permeable and is chiefly composed of cellulose. Cell wall. It contains most of the cell organelles. It is composed of a mixture of water and soluble organic and inorganic compounds. Cytoplasm. It is made up of stacks of flattened membranous sacs. It mainly consists of vesicles, vacuoles and tubules. Golgi apparatus. It is a colorless plastid. It contains starch. Leucoplast. The smallest unit of classification of plants and animals is species. The age of a tree can be determined by counting the number of annual rings in the trunk. Mitochondria is also called powerhouse of the cell. The largest percentage of molecules that make up the cell membrane are phospholipids, cholesterol, and proteins. In the fluid mosaic model, the double bilayer of molecules found in the cell membrane is made up of phospholipids. Although the basic structure of the plasma membrane is determined mainly by its lipids, the functions of the plasma membrane are determined mainly by its proteins. A sequence of nucleotides in DNA that provides a set of instructions for making a functional protein is called a gene. Transcription takes place in the nucleus of the cell. mRNA is copied from DNA. The dash on the tRNA molecule pairs with 3 nucleotides on a mRNA molecules. Anticodon. During the process of DNA replication, each new DNA molecule has one strand of nucleotides from the original DNA and one newly synthesized strand. By the process of mitosis in a human cell, 2 daughter cells are produced, each of which has 46 chromosomes. Which of these processes is associated with meiosis but not mitosis? Crossing over. The process of meiosis results in the production of sperm cells or oocytes. Vacuoles are bound by a definite membrane in plant cells called tonoplast. The transmission of characters from one generation to the next is called heredity. The important aspect of genetics is both A and B, heredity and variation. The father of genetics is Mendel. Mendel worked with which plant to show the transmission of characters? Garden pea. The real carrier of the genetic information from generation to generation is DNA. The double helical structure of DNA was proposed by Watson and Crick. The two purine bases present in DNA are adenine and guanine. The two pyrimidine bases present in DNA are thymine and cytosine. In DNA, adenine always pairs with thymine. In RNA, adenine always pairs with uracil. The abbreviation GMO stands for genetically modified organism. Now is the time to revise human physiology MCQs. So let's get started. The first one is, which of the following is not true regarding saliva? It does not have any role in swallowing of food. Most of water in the alimentary tract is absorbed through large intestine. Villi are not found in stomach. A tooth is made up of a solid bony tissue known as dentine. Which is the largest internal organ in the human body? Liver. Surface of the crown of the tooth is covered with a strong protective layer called enamel. Which of the following prevents food from entering the trachea, windpipe, epiglottis? Which is not a part of the small intestine? Caecum. Which of the following is the common passage of the food eaten and the air breathed? Pharynx. There are 3 pairs of salivary glands glands present in the mouth, which is not a part of the large intestine. Ileum. Tuft of capillaries inside the Malpighian body is known as glomerulus. Which of these is not a normal constituent of urine? Sugar, urea, or creatinine? Sugar. Which process does not occur in the nasal cavity? Exchange of gases. Exchange of air occurs in alveoli, which are also known as air sacs. Write the correct sequence of the pathway through which air travels after entering the body. Pharynx, larynx, trachea, and bronchioles. Normal rate of respiration in an adult human being is 12 to 20 times per minute. Dash investigates the body's structure, whereas dash investigates the process or function of living things. Anatomy investigates the body's structure, whereas physiology investigates the processes or functions of living things. What is the normal heart rate of adult man or woman? 60 to 100. Universal blood donor belong to the blood group O. Which of the following is produced by pancreas? Insulin. Besides ATP, the end products of aerobic respiration are carbon dioxide and water. Anaerobic respiration produces 2 ATPs and lactic acid as a waste product. Aerobic respiration produces 38 ATPs and does require oxygen. Given these parts of a nephron: 1. Renal corpuscle, 2. Collecting duct, 3. Loop of Henle, 4. Distal tubule, and 5. Proximal tubule. Arrange the parts in order as fluid flows from the filtration membrane through the nephron. A option is correct. 1, 5, 3, 4, 2. In a normal human cell, there is or are dash pairs, 22 pairs of autosomal chromosomes and one pair of sex chromosomes. Which organ system removes substances from the blood, combats disease, maintains tissue fluid balance, and absorbs fat from the digestive tract? Lymphatic. Which organ system consists of hormone-secreting glands such as pituitary and thyroid glands, endocrine? The wrist consists of 8 carpal bones. Muscle cells that are cylindrical and branched, each with a single centrally located nucleus and that contract spontaneously, are cardiac muscles. The largest percentage of plasma is water. All of the formed elements of the blood are derived from stem cells. What are the leukocytes that produce antibodies and other chemicals? Lymphocytes. Blood is a type of connective tissue. The liquid component of blood with the clotting factors removed is the serum. Specialized lymphatic vessels located in the lining of the small intestine that help with absorption of fats and other substances from the digestive systems are lacteals. The transparent anterior portion of the outer eye coat, which allows light rays to enter the interior of the eye, is the sclera. The colored blue, brown, green portion of the eye as seen in an interior view is which of the following? Iris. Clouding of the lens occurs in which of these eye disorders? Cataract. Contraction of which of the following muscles is involved with changing the shape, thickening of lens? Ciliary muscles. Which layer of eye contains the photoreceptor cells? Retina. Which of the following is commonly called the blind spot of the eye because it lacks photoreceptor cells? Optic disc. An eye that is too long or oval results in poor distance vision, a disorder called nearsightedness or myopia. The lipid hormones are either steroids or derivatives of fatty acids. The hypothalamus regulates the secretory activity of the pituitary gland. Oxytocin secretion causes both A and B, milk ejection in lactating females, and uterine contractions. Anterior pituitary hormones include oxytocin and ADH. The acid that helps in digestion is hydrochloric acid. Bile is secreted by liver. The largest organ of the human body is skin. The process by which large pieces of food are cut and crushed into smaller pieces is called mechanical digestion. The enzyme in saliva helps to digest carbohydrates. The gastric juice produced in the stomach contains mucus, hydrochloric acid, and pepsin. The wave-like movement of muscle of the digestive system is called peristalsis. The enzyme that digests protein is pepsin. The tube that connects the mouth to the stomach is esophagus. The process of breaking down large droplets of fat into small droplets of fat is called emulsification. Lipase, an enzyme found in the small intestine, digests fat and oils. The digestion of all types of nutrients is completed in the small intestine. Food that leaves the stomach is in the form of thick liquid is called chyme. Now we will revise human health and disease MCQs. First one is locked jaw, that is difficulty in opening the mouth is a symptom of tetanus. Virus causes measles. Which of the following pairs is incorrect? Poliomyelitis, monkey. Which of the following is a fungal disease? Ringworm. Bronchitis is a disease of which of the following organs? Respiratory tract. Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome is caused by virus. Deficiency of iron in human diet causes anemia. Trachoma is a disease of eyes. Mumps is a disease caused by virus. Rickets is a disease of the bones. Night blindness is caused by the lack of which vitamin? Vitamin A. Autopsy is connected with post-mortem. Cholera is caused by Vibrio cholera. Heart attack is caused due to cholesterol. Malaria is a disease which affects the spleen. Which of the following disease is caused by virus? Smallpox. In human beings, infection of Plasmodium causes malaria. Which of the following can cause cancer as well as cure it depending upon its intensity and use? Ionized radiation. DPT vaccine does not give protection to a child from polio. Leukemia is a disease of blood cells. Which among the following is a waterborne disease? Cholera. Antibodies. The antibiotic penicillin is obtained from fungus. Antibodies are protein. The disease in which bronchial tubes become narrow due to spasm of bronchial muscles is called asthma. Which of the following medicines is administered to patients suffering from diabetes? Insulin. Which of the following is not a vaccine preventable disease? Asthma. Which disease mainly affects children under 5 and remains endemic in only 2 countries? Polio. The biggest challenge to improving global vaccine coverage are all of these: limited resources, competing health priorities, and poor management of health systems. An attenuated vaccine is composed of living, weakened microorganisms. Vaccines are available for all of the following except hepatitis C. Bandwidth is a data which a person can send through a network or modem connection. How it is usually measured? In bits per second. What is BASIC? Beginner's all-purpose symbolic instruction code, a programming language. Which of the following is a conventional basic designation of pre-released software? Beta. Name the binary digit that is smallest unit of digital information, either on or off, 1 or 0. Bit. What is the name of that pre-installed program on PCs that computer uses to start up? This program checks all hardware connections and locates all devices during boot up processes. Operating system. What does mean by BIOS? Basic Input Output System. What does mean by browse? To view data in a database or online system. Term the amount of memory that is needed to specify one character. 8 bits. Byte. There are many different types of caches, pronounced like cache, in computer, but they all serve the same purpose. What is their function? To store recently used information in place where it can be accessed extremely fast. Which of the following is used metaphorically to describe the virtual world of computers? Cyberspace. What is called a structured set of data that is normally associated with software to access and manipulate that data? Database. What is termed the portion of RAM set aside for temporarily holding information read from a disk? Cache memory. There is a small file that helps the computer to communicate with certain hardware devices. What this file is called? Driver. Name the high-capacity optical disc that looks like a CD but can store much information than CD. Digital Versatile Disc, DVD. Internet is a worldwide collection of interconnected networks which provide a wide variety of services. Mention the network protocols used by Internet, TCP or IP network protocols. Name an internet or private internet that is used strictly within the confines of a company, university, etc. Intranet. What is called the memory that can be used by applications to perform necessary tasks while the computer is on? Random access memory. 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes. Who is the father of computer? Charles Babbage. All of the following are examples of input devices except a printer. Which of the following is example of an input device? Scanner. What is artificial intelligence? Making a machine intelligent. What is the term used for describing the judgmental or common sense part of problem solving? Heuristic. Strong artificial intelligence is a set of computer programs that produce output that would be considered to reflect intelligence in it were generated by humans. Weak artificial intelligence is the study of mental faculties through the use of mental models implemented on a computer. Dash is called the father of AI, John McCarthy. Transmission media are usually categorized as guided or unguided. Which of the following is primary memory? Random access memory. Dash cable consists of an inner copper core and conducting outer sheath. Coaxial. In fiber optics, the signal travels through light waves. Which of the following primarily uses guided media? Local telephone system. In an optical fiber, the inner core is denser than the cladding. The inner core of an optical fiber is glass or plastic in composition. When a beam of light travels through media of two different densities, if the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, reflection occurs. Dash cables carry data signals in the form of light. Fiber optics. Dash media transport electromagnetic waves without the use of a physical conductor, unguided. Dash are used for cellular phone, satellite and wireless LAN communications, microwaves. Dash are used for short-range communications such as those between a PC and a peripheral device, infrared waves. Which topology requires a central controller or hub? Star. Which topology requires a multi-point connection? Bus. Dash refers to the physical or logical arrangement of a network. Topology. A LAN is a data communication system within a building, plant or campus or between nearby buildings. A WAN is a data communication system spanning states, countries or the whole world. Dash is a collection of many separate networks and internet. A protocol is a set of rules that governs data communication. Which of the following systems analyzes spatial information? Geographical information system. Which of the following represents 1 billion characters? Gigabyte. Which of the following represents the fastest data transmission speed? GBPs. Which of the following domains is used by for-profit businesses? .com. What is the name for a web page address domain? I have shared with you all the MCQs of general science. If you want to revise the Pakistan Affairs, Current Affairs, Islamiyat and English MCQs for CSS 2023 screening test, then do subscribe my channel. Also press the bell button so that you can get the notification of coming videos. Thanks for watching. Allah Hafiz.